Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Ferreira. Thank you so much for joining me today on our demo. So just to kind of explain what we're doing here, I'm kind of just really giving an overview of our website and of our projects. This demo today is geared towards demolition, and I know that some people on the call might do, more than demolition. So this is really just an overview, just to kind of show you some projects, but really, anybody that's on this demo, we should do a one-on-one so that we can be very specific for your territory and for anything else that you might be looking at, and be able to take our time and actually take a look at the projects, because the projects are actually the most important thing. Our website is super simple to use, but a demo is to really see what's out there and what you're probably not aware of. So just to kind of give you some information about how we're getting all of our information, what it is that we do at CIS. So we've been in business for over 33 years. We are a family business based out of North Jersey. We have an office in Kinnelon. We also have one in Mahwah. But what we do and how we are separated from any of the national services that you might be using is that we have about 40 inside and outside reporters that literally hunt down all of our project information. So we are hunting down everything that's publicly being bid, anything that has, from any type of town or school or anything like that. And then on the private side, we chase new construction. But many of those projects, before they are built, do require demolition first. So it's a really great way for you to find out about private work. And we phase our private work out. So you can choose to get involved early on with owners and developers, or you can work, go straight with the general contractor and work for them. And, we are literally, our niche at CIS is that we are literally in your backyard. So, who better to find out about the projects than the companies that are located in your area. And the way that our reporters get our information is we scour newspapers as well as websites. So believe it or not, there are still some owners that are posting projects, owners and engineers that are posting projects in newspapers. So that's one of the things that we do. We go through hundreds of newspapers every week in our offices, as well as the website. So because we've been in business for as long as we have, we know where these owners and where these engineers are posting their information. On the private side, and we split our team between the public and the private work. So on the private side, we actually start with the planning boards. If you're going to build something, you have to get approvals before those planning boards first. So we're finding out what's being built, and we're going to owners, the developers, the architects, the engineers, and literally following the project every step of the way until it's been completed. So that's how we're getting our information. I have reports that have been set up ahead of time so that, for time reasons. So, and by the way, we are looking at 3 separate territories on here. We're looking at Northern New Jersey. We are looking at Lower Hudson, which is Orange, Rockland, and Westchester, and we're looking at New York City. So again, this is really an overview of what's happening. So for people on the call, I know there are some people that really kind of are only looking at North Jersey. And so for those purposes, we would do a separate demo after this. So let's start with our North Jersey demolition report. So what we are looking at here are literally just projects that have the word demo and demolition in them. So right now in the public sector, we have 45 projects that are out to bid. Every one of these projects has some type of demolition in them. So really what we're looking at are going to be straight demo, like that you're going to bid as a prime, as well as, to be able to be a subcontractor, of the demolition piece that's in the project. Like here's one in Phillipsburg, demolition of 150 Sitgreaves. 150 Sitgreaves Street. Okay, it's the name of the street. What else do we have? Oh, here we go. Let's see. We have one in Wayne. So here's 4086 demolition contract 40. So this is what your public format looks like, by the way. This is a public bid. This is bidding on October 25th at 11 o'clock. Who the owner is, the Township of Wayne, the documents. So we are either going to give you a link that will take you to the documents, or we are going to tell you where you need to get them. So in this case, you can just click here and get directly to the documents. We know, the bid bond, prevailing wages required. Bids will be opened via Zoom. So sometimes, the bid opening ever since COVID are now still virtual, as is the case here. You can click here to get to the information about the Zoom and then the description. So what they're exactly demoing and what they're doing in this project. And then you have plan holders. So these are the other companies that have all picked up plans on this project that are potentially going to bid this. So if you are a demo contractor and you do public work, these I'm sure are your competitors that you compete against. So let's actually take a look at, because what you can do from here is get some insight to the people that you're bidding against. You can do the same thing if you want to work with a general contractor. So if I click on Caravella Demolition, we're taking a look at his information, at his bidding information, his company profile. Your company has a profile on our website as well. It is up to you to go ahead and update your profile, but it's basically telling people who you are and what you do, who your contacts are, how can they get in touch with you. So from a competitor's standpoint, you want to see what they're holding plans on. You can track your competitors and make sure that you don't miss anything. So they're holding plans on this particular project, but this is going to show you their bids and what are they getting that's low? What have they bid that they didn't get? So they've been low bid on 29 projects in the last 3 years. You can click on the projects, and this is what I mean by getting some insight to your competitors. You get to see what the amount is of what they're bidding these projects. So Caravella was low at 102. Then we've got 156, 191, 234, 278. So you kind of get to see really what the spread is on these projects and whether or not, your competitors are kind of, underbidding on some of these projects. And you can do that with any of these bids that we're looking at. And then other bids are 100. So what that's telling you is that in the last 3 years, Caravella has bid on 129 public projects in North Jersey, and what they've won and what they didn't get. And then if you click on a project, you can see, who actually did end up getting this project, which is Garm Energy. And here's their amount, and everybody else. So then we've got negotiated. So these are the projects that they are the demolition contractor on for private work. So they've got, this is what's being built, and we're going to get into this in another section, but this is what's being built, but there's a piece of it before they build that requires demolition, and they are listed as a demolition contractor. So if you're interested in knowing anything about your competitors or other general contractors and what they're bidding and what they're picking up plans on, you can track them. You just click on this circle, it turns white. I'm already tracking them. And now anytime that they pick up plans or place a bid, low or not, automatically you are going to be notified. All right, so again, these are all of the projects that are out to bid right now that do require demolition. Here's demolition of various structures in Trenton, and so on. So if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, we've got projects that are bidding as far as December 12th. So that's really far out. Here's a new school that requires demolition and site work in Elizabeth. Okay, so let's now go to the bid results. Just quickly want to show you, these are projects in the last 30 days that I did the report for that also have some kind of demolition in them. So for example, we looked before at a straight demo bid, but here is a project that is a general contractor had bid that has some demolition in it. Your word is highlighted, by the way. And Epic Management was the low bid on this project. And you can see everybody else that's been listed on here as well. So it's the same thing. You can click on Epic Management. You can get to their bidding information. For time reasons, I'm not going to go through all of that. I wanted to show you Caravella. Okay, next territory, Lower Hudson. Here are some demolition, required projects in here as well. There are 22 for them. I'm just going to, let's take a look at this one in Thornwood. So this is, the same premise. It's bidding on October 19th. It's, Mount Pleasant Central School District in Thornwood. Your documents, same thing. You can click on either one of these links to bring you to those. There was a mandatory pre-bid meeting on October 4th. The note section again about the bid opening, or if there's an addendum or a change in bid date. As typical in New York, it's broken down into these 4 different contracts. And if you click on it, you can see that there is a lot of demolition in this project that you would be bidding to the general contractor. And here are those people. So here are the plan holders again. These are the companies that have all picked up plans on this particular project. And because it's 4 different types of contracts, obviously you want to take a look and see who the GC is that you are going to bid to. So you can do that. And the other piece of it that I want to show you is that any project that you're interested in, you want to track it. So if I click track, now this is going to go into your tracked folder. This is how you're going to keep track of projects. Anytime we update something, whether it's a plan holder, whether it's a description, anything that we update, you are automatically going to be notified, and that includes the bid result. So when that project bids on October 19th, typically you'll see it even the same day. We have live information, which means there could be a project that bids in the morning, and later on in the afternoon, we're going to be able to give you the bid result on that project. And you can also add yourself as interested. So this is a way that CIS clients let other CIS clients know that they're interested in the project. So any GC or anybody else that's looking at this can see you and what your company does by clicking on your name. So if I click I'm interested, my fake company of Amy Construction is going to get listed. Here we are. And then, as I said, people can take a look and see, okay, what does Amy Construction do, or what does your particular company do? Okay, they do demolition. I can reach out to them for the demolition piece of it. You still want to do, the reach out yourself, and you want to be proactive, but it's a really good way to get your name out there. All right, let me get rid of myself so that nobody is, calling me. All right. And then we have the bid results, same thing. It's all the same premise, right? We're looking at what's out to bid, all for demolition, and then in the public sector, what has bid that has demolition in as well. So that's what these projects are in here. Okay. Moving on to the next territory, which is New York City. So there are 22 projects out to bid that have some type of demolition in them. I'm just going to stick to this one. Let's stick to the top. Let's see. There's a bunch of different projects in here. All right, we're going to take a look at this one. Okay, so here is a Lehman College, Davis Hall. So there's roof replacement and asbestos in this project. When is this bidding? This is bidding on October 24th. So we've got a little bit of time. This is next week. I want to point out, New York City especially, there's typically requirements of certified contractors. So you've got an MBE goal of 18%, WBE 12%, SCVOB, and there's also a PLA in this project. So you know that this does require union work in here. And if we open up our description, we can see where the demolition comes into play, which is here. And then again, you've got your plan holders on this project. So again, as a subcontractor, these are the companies that you'd be reaching out to for the demolition piece. In this particular contractor, Vernon Construction, has actually put out a sub request. So if I click on this, this is going to show you what they're looking for. So Arnold at Vernon is saying we need all trades, which, obviously that's going to be demolition. I would call anyway, even if that didn't say, your specific trade. Okay, and then we have bid results. So these are the projects that bid in the last 30 days that have demolition listed as well. So you can kind of go through these and just see. It's also a good way to see, hey, did you miss something? Here are projects that have been out for however long and that require demolition. And, it might even be something that you can still choose to get involved with, even though the project has already been. Okay, so that's it for the public projects. Now I want to take you to the private projects and all of these projects that require demolition. So as I mentioned earlier, how we get our private work, but we stage our private projects and we stage them into pre-planning, planning, and negotiated. So typically I know from experience with other demolition contractors, clients that we have, is that as a demo contractor, a lot of times you guys want to get involved early on with owners and developers. You still have the chance, you still have the, the option to get involved with the general contractor instead. But if you wanted to get involved early on, then you would take a look at the pre-planning and planning stages. Pre-planning for CIS is very early stage projects. It can be a conceptual stage project. It can be a town selling off a piece of property to a developer. It can even be a public building that has to get public approval before it goes out to bid. Because keep in mind, really what we're doing here is reporting on the brand new building that's being built. But again, there's great opportunities for demolition contractors. So in the last 30 days, we've reported 23 projects that have demolition required. So like, let's take a look at this one in Flemington. So what you want to do is go right to the bottom and take a look at what they're getting rid of. So they're going to demo the former Burkett's Supply Company and 3 other existing buildings and put up 2 buildings. The rest of this is just talking about what they're putting up. So what you're going to care about is obviously the first sentence. When there's demolition in a project, it's always going to say in the first sentence. And then if you go to the top and work your way down, you know exactly where this project is located. You know who the owner is, Van Holten Group out of Basking Ridge. So this is, if you wanted to get involved in this stage, this is the person that you're reaching out to. And you can do the same thing that we did before. You can click on this owner. You can see if they have any other projects that they're working on, that they're building, and reach out to them about those projects. But as far as demolition, this is who you want to reach out to. And then you've got, it's mentioning it in the work included, but then you have planning notes. So the planning notes are going to tell you exactly what's happening with this project. So site plan application will be reviewed by the Flemington Planning Board on October 3rd. So what happens is our reporters are following up with these planning boards. When something happens, we're going to follow up and find out exactly, what happened at this meeting. So, and when we're able to get that information, we're going to add that to the planning note. So the same thing that we looked at before with the public project, you can track this if you're interested in, and you can add yourself as interested so that other companies can see. And especially, you might see competitors on here. And if that's the case, then you want to make sure that you're adding yourself as well. And, making sure that your profile is updated so that a GC can click on this and know exactly what it is that you do. Okay, so planning, excuse me, these projects are a little bit further along where they're still trying to get approvals, but typically it's now out of that conceptual stage. They have plans, they know what's happening, but still a good place for you to get involved if you want to get involved, with owners and developers early on. Sorry, I usually put as many as I can on one page. So, and they're going to be, again, I know we're looking at all territory. I know some people on here are just, typically North Jersey or New Jersey. And that's, again, what we would do a specific demo for. So let's just take a look. What do we have here? Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what I want to take a look at as far as a project. Let's take a look at this one in Manhattan. So demolition of several existing buildings and then putting up a 36, story other building. So again, that's what you want to take a look at. Who can you reach out to on the project and how can you get involved? And now we've got negotiated. So these projects are a little bit different because this is where we put our projects when we know who the GC is that has been awarded. So in this case, you might see in progress in here. So in progress, just so that you know, can mean demolition has started. It can mean site work has started. So I would kind of go through and take a look at the projects. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me just, I do have 100 on page, just making sure. Take a look at the projects that don't say in progress, because this is where you are going to want to get involved then. Because if it doesn't say in progress, it means that nothing has actually happened yet, nothing has started. Take a look at this one in Jackson Heights. So again, you've got where it's located, who the owner developer is, and who the GC is. So you can choose to still get involved with the owner developer, but know that the contractor has already been awarded and it's Turner Construction. So same thing, you can take a look and click on Turner and see, hey, do they have other things? The Shorewood Real Estate Group, do they have other things? that they're also working on in the negotiated tab. They've got, 4 projects in total, 2 are in progress, one's already completed, and here's the one that we're looking at. But it's always worth a look to be able to get involved with anything and everything that they're doing. And what they're doing here is demolition of a former Food Bazaar supermarket. So probably a pretty big project. New building permits for earthwork were issued to Turner Construction on September 20th. Demolition permits have yet to be issued. So you know that if that's not even, nothing is happening right now with the demo. So it's still a good place for you to get involved. Okay. So let me scroll back up here actually and go back to my desktop. So again, we looked at public demolition projects. We looked at a few, just quickly, private demolition projects. And then I just want to quickly show you our daily email. I'm not going to necessarily click on the projects, but this is what you would receive every single day, or you can easily access it like I just did. And we basically are giving you what's happening every day in pre-planning, planning, out to bid, the bid results, and the negotiated tab. Because you're very specific, if you only do demolition work, we can recreate this report of what's happening each day with only demolition projects. So that it makes it very simple for you to just say, okay, what's happening for the day? We also send this, we call this a daily email, because we also send this to you every single day in an email. So if you're in the field and you don't necessarily have time to go online, at least you can get a heads up of what's happening, as well as, with just specifically demo. And also we have an app. So you can easily work off of your app and have the same exact reports, exactly what's on this desktop, exactly what you want for your, for what you do on your app. So it makes it very, very simple. When you're on the go, you don't have to worry about missing anything. We also have a construction directory. This is where you can search for projects. This is a specific job that you're looking for that somebody has told you about. GCs and subs, which we're going to take a look at. Suppliers, equipment companies, professional services. Owners, you don't know the name of the project, but you know who the owner is, you can search that way. Sub requests, this is where GCs are posting projects because they need subs. So our construction directory, this is how contractors can find you. If you want to be the first person that gets listed as a demolition contractor, we give you the option to advertise with us, right? So we've got, 860 demolition contractors really in total. If you wanted to just kind of narrow it down by North Jersey, you can literally be the first person that gets listed. So rather than a GC have to look through all of these contractors to decide who they want to reach out to, your name can be the first person listed. It's kind of like this. These companies are all advertising their different services. And typically you're going to see suppliers and equipment companies and professional services are going to be here on the side. But it's a great way to get in front of contractors. And then we've got the tracking. So this is where, any of the projects that you're tracking are going right in here. Here's what it looks like when we update something. There's a flag next to it. You can even make notes in here. Same thing with the contractors. This is where you can keep track of your competitors and general contractors. And then you can see exactly what happens when they pick up plans or place bids. Here's Caravella in here that I had tracked. So we're kind of out of time here. Just to kind of recap, again, we are literally the only local project lead service in your backyard with, 40 inside and outside reporters hunting down all of our information. It's really easy to be able to find exactly what it is that you're looking for and make sure that you're not missing anything. So thank you so much for attending my demo. I hope it was helpful for you. And, please reach out to me, or I'll reach out to you for anybody that's been on, the demo, for a one-on-one demo to really, as I said, be specific for what you are looking for. But thank you for your time today. Very much appreciated. And I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you.